Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to yet again another awesome live stream. We are joined with our good friend Nathan Johns, and we're here to talk about GodSlayers episode number 1, his first comic, and everything in between. Nate, how are you doing? I'm so excited I got it off the rip. Thought I was gonna say Nathan Johns or Jones like I was doing earlier.
It's all right, man.
Hey, we very nice.
I'm doing good. I'm glad to be here.
So how are you, man? Tell me a little bit about your indie comic creation journey and what led you to GodSlayers.
So I originally wrote GodSlayers as an anime script a few years back when a company I was working for went bankrupt and I had a couple months without work. And it never really went anywhere. And then this last couple of years, I've been working with an artist, Mario A. Barraza, and doing some cool stuff. I run a role-playing group, and for Christmas one year, I had a group shot done of our role-playing group's characters to give them as a Christmas present. And after that shot came in, it was just amazing. And so I kept buying artwork from him. And after a little, yeah, I love it. And after a while, I was just like, dude, like, do you want to make a comic book? And he was on board. So I pulled out an old script and started laying out storyboards, and GodSlayers came from it. Now, to be fair, I've been watching Niobe from Niobe Comics hustle his stuff for like 2 years and sharing his stuff. And I don't know, man, just watching him go, I was just like, I want to do that too.
Yeah.
Like as a game master, I've been role playing since I was like 14. So it's been 28 years. And like, I just wanted to share my story outside my role playing group, and share a story, I guess, outside a role playing group. And finding an artist and watching someone else do it was just inspiring. I just jumped on it. I jumped on it a little too fast, actually.
Yeah. So
I'm learning as I go.
let's go ahead and talk about some of the influences, though. I mean, when you sent me some of these PDFs and I was checking over your campaign, I got a lot of different vibes. Some of the most notable being, Final Fantasy VII, Berserk, and of course Bloodborne. I was talking a lot about how the GodSlayer himself feels just like the Vicar Amelia from Bloodborne. So let's go ahead and talk about just some of your influences that went into this, because I mean, I can't wait to start showing this comic because it looks phenomenal, dude.
Oh yeah, Mario's work is great. And then, like I said, I got lucky. I got some really cool artists to do variant covers, like Greg Bo Watson and Courtney Rose, and those covers they're phenomenal. And but like, I guess my influences would be anime for the most part, just and of course role playing, like doing my own stories. But anime, like I love Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works is one of them. I got really into Bastard and Berserk. I've been watching anime forever, and as a storyteller, that's the dream, is to get something out there, a comic, an anime, something out there people can enjoy. And I have so many influences, man. I don't even know where to start.
So let's go ahead and start breaking down the beginnings of this. How did this come about? How did you end up, following this dream of yours? What led you to creating this first episode?
Meeting a great artist and watching someone else hustle. And I was like, I can do that.
So let me phrase that a little bit differently. Sorry about that. When you actually went into like creating it, like writing the script, doing everything that goes into that, what did you do to begin that? Coming from somewhere where you really didn't do a whole lot of making comics before, what maybe being a game master, what skills from that helped you create this issue?
Wow. So really, I like I said, I had a script for an anime, and I just started pulling that apart and trying to figure out how I would want to tell that story as a comic book. And I copyrighted my anime script before I started doing this. And as I'm going through it, I was realizing that the progression of the the anime script was way different than I wanted to progress the script for the storyline in the comic book, and I really wanted to pull some anime elements in there, and so I've got Bella, and she's desperately in love with Dust, and I wanted her to be like one of those desperately in love, you know, anime girls, and so she's got a little
Sakura
bit of that
vibes,
attitude.
huh? Sakura vibes, huh?
Oh yeah, yeah. She's even got the anger going, so like she can get heated pretty quick. And then I've got Jericho, and Jericho is my embittered older guy. He's not the leader of the group, and then he's just got this embittered kind of how would I describe it? Like no nonsense personality, where he's not down for any of the nonsense or the garbage, and he's there to help Bella. He doesn't really trust the lead character as much, but he really believes Bella's just there for him and not to save the world like they planned. And not only that, but I mean, dealing with anything that has to do with the GodSlayers is just a bad issue for that guy. And then Dust is I wanted a character like Dosai from Bungo Stray Dogs, you know, where he's he's so confident in what he's doing. And it sometimes seems like he's not taking anything too seriously, but he pulls out in the end, you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, no, I don't. I got 3 kids. You got me there. So let's go ahead and start breaking down the story then. Let's break down the script. You already copyrighted it, so there's no fear of anyone taking it. That's interesting too. What led you to want to copyright it? I mean, and what went into that? I honestly have not talked to many people who copywritten their scripts.
Well, really, it was as simple as taking the PDF and sending it to the copyright office. But I wanted to copyright it because I wanted to protect our work. And as we're finishing up the comic book, I intend to send the digital stuff to get copyrighted too. You know, it's our project, and I wanted to protect it in the end.
And now you can literally talk about it, and you don't have to worry about anyone taking your idea, because you know if they do, there's repercussions for it. I honestly think that's kind of a smart move, especially since you started this project. You said in September, right? In
September. Oh yeah.
Yeah. You surprised me.
Oh man, like.
Yeah. So I mean, even though you might have jumped into it a little quick, you have made some pretty smart moves, you know, with the copywriting. And yeah, I think. I'm just really excited to talk about this. Like the stuff that's on Kickstarter that you could see looks phenomenal. I really love the artwork. I think it's crazy. So let's start breaking it down. Who is this GodSlayer, and what is his story? Okay,
so the GodSlayer is a kitsune who has been corrupted by possession. He was possessed by a demon, and he actually died years ago.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but what is a kitsune? For our listeners who have no idea what that is.
So for me, he's a anthropomorphic fox. He's a humanoid fox character. And it's from Japanese mythology. But in my world, there are a few different kinds. There's the kitsune and the nizumi, and you'll run into the nizumi because Akara is actually a half-breed between human and nizumi.
Okay.
And they're like rat people. But the GodSlayer has this tragic history in which he was possessed by a demon and rose up and slaughtered the gods of the world of Athenea. And in this final battle, he was killed, but instead of that ending everything, it just released the demon that was possessing him. And so now the main characters are on a mission because the GodSlayer sword that was used to slay their gods, they believe is the only weapon that can defeat this demon. But the only one who can wield it, like truly wield it, is the GodSlayer. So, and being dead, they have to resurrect him.
Yeah, wow. This sounds like a really insane journey. How long did it take you to plan out like just the bare bones for it? Just like the plot of what you want to do with this?
So I'm a crazy prolific writer, man. Like I write constantly. When I upgraded my phone, it took 2 hours to transfer everything from my phone because my notes section was literally just stuffed full of writing. And so, I mean, it didn't take me that long. I just kind of have it in my head. My head's full of old song lyrics and stories that I want to produce, and so it just comes out. And as I go, it just gets broader and better, and I have to kind of try to trim it down to fit in what I'm working with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Now with the story, what all do you want to talk about? Do you want to keep some of it a secret?
Well, I don't want to tell the story as a whole, but I mean, I can talk about some stuff. Like, I just did an update for Kickstarter where I tell a little bit about Dust and like where he comes from, kind of describe his personality, and he comes from a kingdom where it's actually part of their society to raise the dead, to help out, to continue aiding their families. And while the rest of the world kind of sees that as atrocious and affront to nature, and where he comes from, it's common practice.
Yeah,
like
it's normal.
Yeah, and
they're probably like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Chill, man, chill."
Well, and Dust, like, you'll find out he has his hang-ups when it comes to raising the dead, but that's stuff that you'll learn as you read the comic books. And being as I'm only in the first one, we're only learning a little bit about him. Like an anime, I want to hook people, but I don't want to give them too much, because I want them coming back for the second episode and being like, what the hell is going on? Like,
now,
if you watch an anime, you're 4 episodes in before you're even starting to understand that.
With Bella, what's her story? What all can you leak about Bella? She seems like a pretty interesting character as well. Hopelessly in love, but with a fiery attitude, so it seems like she definitely is a firecracker.
Oh yeah, and not only that, but I mean, she desperately wanted to be a warrior, and where she comes from, that's not like, it's not common that someone of her stature would be a warrior, and she has the capability to summon weapons from nowhere with her magic, any kind of weapon. And so, like, in the first couple of scenes, you see her using shields, both to block and as weapons, but hammers tend to be her favorite, and they vary in size and shape, and that's her brutal weapon. She's there with Jericho, but she's following Dust because, again, she's hung up on that guy and his ambitions, and wants to help him and get out there in the world.
Jericho's like her mentor then, or maybe like a father figure to her? So
Jericho is her trainer. He's the one that taught her to fight in the first place. And Jericho, he's well known throughout the world of Athenea, and it's not everyone thinks very highly of that guy.
And he probably doesn't want to get in this, but he doesn't want his student to get killed.
Pretty much.
I gotcha.
He's there to make sure that she's safe, and again, like, he has this embittered history with the GodSlayer, and if they're gonna end the demon that was released on the world when he defeated the GodSlayer, he wants to be there. So, you know,
I love those characters the most, because you often see some of the biggest like character like redemption arcs with them. You see them kind of get out of their old ways and kind of like start to embrace new things, and like some of those character traits are just some of my favorites, because like as a human, that's something you want to break through as well, you know, like some of your like less than spectacular traits, and just be a better person, you know. So I definitely love that character already. Let's go ahead and start diving into your campaign, if you don't mind. I already see that
I don't mind at all.
Yeah, you're getting pretty close to being halfway, with 15 days to go. Congratulations on that. That's pretty phenomenal.
Thank you.
So
getting out there, no name, and trying to do this.
Yeah. Yes, September too. That's pretty phenomenal. So if you want to share your screen, we'll go ahead and pull that up.
So this here is just our intro, is our Greg Bo Watson cover, and Mario put that together with our logo, and then Tenebris Anima Comics is my trademark, my comic label. Like I said, I jumped in head first. I even went and got that thing trademarked and ready to rock and roll. And as you can see, we're up to 59 backers. Nice.
Yes. And you, how long has this campaign been running for?
Since February 26th.
Okay.
So
are
again,
all Kickstarter campaigns 30 days, or can they be longer?
So they can be shorter, but I'm pretty sure that there is a 60-day length cap. And I just wanted to go from February to April from February 26th to April 2nd.
Yeah.
And kind of see if I had time to get it out there and introduce people to it.
So how does it feel to kind of just do this off the cuff? You did this in September, you started in February, and you raised almost half. I mean, that has to be phenomenal. That has to feel crazy.
It is a plethora of emotions, my friend. It is, I don't want to say stressful, but it is definitely a lot of hard work. I'm out there trying to promote it. I'm trying to, I mean, the comic's done for the most part. Just get the last page editing done. And
I just noticed your comic label is in the O. It looks like it.
So yeah, so that actually is an important piece, because that's Dust's necklace too. As we go through the comic, you'll see that that's his necklace, and
Dude,
it represents
awesome.
it represents the 9 gods of Athenaea. And the broken circle is because 8 of them are dead, and the 9th one is the only one that survived before the death of the GodSlayers.
Dude, let's go. Look, we're getting some exclusive information. Be sure to remember that one, guys.
So we have my introduction to the world. If you want me to read that, or I can just continue on.
I mean, you can read whatever you want to, man. We have
and this,
about 10-15 minutes,
so this just gives you kind of like a background of what's going on. It explains pretty much what I was telling you about the GodSlayer rising up to slay the gods of the world and releasing the demon. And then it introduced Dust in the last paragraph. That now a mysterious sorcerer who calls himself Dust has gathered a small band of companions to find a way to wield the one weapon he believes can destroy the Yama King. And then it talks a bit about his companions and what they're doing, and rolls right into our pages where they're at the tomb of the GodSlayer. And
yeah, so I love this artwork so much.
Me too. Like, Mario and I have this thing where we're on a wavelength. We don't have to do a bunch of crazy edits. Like, from my storyboard, he puts together just these great, and I'm not an artist, so like, I actually have an author's gallery down at the bottom that shows my art, and while it's cute and hilarious, it is by no means anything near what Mario's putting together for me. And it's got them, this is pretty much they're breaking into the tomb of the GodSlayer, and you get to see Bella pulling her hammers from nowhere using her magic, and rescuing Akara here as they're trying to get up the stairs being chased by these black knights. And you get your attitude from Jericho right off the back. He's like, get the door open, we'll hold them off. And Jericho's like, what do you think I'm doing?
So what's Akara, like, what's his ability?
So Akara is a girl.
A girl?
Yeah, and she's a ninja. She's actually trained in Nizumi Ninjutsu, which is shadowmancy and tricks. It's just ninjutsu. Okay. But it's trained by the rat people, the Nizumi.
That's the half and half.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
She's half, her mother was human and her father was a Nizumi.
Okay.
And she's actually Dust's oldest friend and confidant. Like, she was with him before he met Jericho and Bella. And then you see, like I said, you see her wielding her shields in this scene. She summoned different weapons, and she's trying to hold off these black knights while Akara's up and helping. And then Dust casts his magic.
So
and that's
Dust
the thing in the world.
Is Dust able to turn into that Kitsu, the wolf with the wrappings, or is that's the actual GodSlayer itself?
That's the actual GodSlayer itself.
Okay, so I was a little yeah, my apologies on that. For whatever reason, I thought that was Dust.
Nope.
Okay.
In fact, they wind up calling him Ash.
Okay. All right.
And he has his own name that's lost to time, but Dust winds up naming him Ash and bringing him along with them.
Okay. All right. I gotcha.
And so we see Dust casting his magic, and that's the thing about this world, is a lot of the warriors use magic more than anything else. And then they're entering the tomb.
Like,
and
right
we got
here,
the darkness.
This page right here, I was just fixated on it for so long because it's gorgeous. It's almost like, you know what I mean? It almost feels like a game at that point. Like, the graphics, you know what I mean? It just looks so crazy.
I've actually heard that a lot. And this was Mario's favorite page too. When he finished this one, it turned out fantastic. I love the lighting, the way the shadows are laid out. It's really done well. You can see the detail in Jericho's face as we're going.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Dust teasing them, if you two are done snuggling. And that sets Bella off on her, on her tirade.
So for character designs, did you have an idea of how you wanted these characters to look? Or did you just give it a description and let the artist just, go at it?
So no, these designs, we went through them pretty thoroughly. Dust, they all look... Well, and again, Mario's on this wavelength with me. I described them and I kind of gave him some references and they came out exactly like I imagined. Like, especially Dust and Bella, like they're crazy. Like almost like he yanked them from my brain and slapped them on the page. And Bella's got kind of like, if you notice, the Sailor Moon vibe.
Yeah.
That's my hearkening back to one of my first animes.
Okay. Yeah, dude. I remember seeing Sailor Moon early in the morning cartoon. You know what I mean?
Man, so they used to have it on at 6 Eastern time, and I lived on the West Coast and would get up at 3 in the morning, watch it, and go back to bed before school. So, and then we've got, of course, the tomb. This is the actual tomb where the GodSlayers held, and you can see the Kitsune being attacked by the demon and the flames and being tortured. And that was actually set up by Mastema after the GodSlayer died to contain the GodSlayer's body.
Yeah, what a perfect cliffhanger too, right when they get up to it.
Oh yeah, I love that. I love the sarcophagus too, because I kind of drew what I wanted and Mario hit the nail on the head. It's got that Japanese art style.
The perspective view of it too is just beautiful. He's definitely killing it.
He's got the fading in there, like the paint is old and starting to crack. It just looks really great. And we've got a couple of scenes in there where he does stuff that is just outstanding. And then we kind of get down into the tiers. We've got the $5 tier, which is the introductory tier, which is just our PDF for those who just want to check it out. And then we come down and I name the tiers after the band from the GodSlayers, the party that's traveling. And we've got the Akara tier. And you'll find Akara a lot of times hiding behind her comrades. So I call this our safe tier, which is just the PDF. And if people want a physical copy, they get the Mario A. Barraza main cover, which is this guy.
Yeah, that sword is just awesome.
I love it. I love that grinning demon on the hilt too. And you can see that Jericho's none too happy about having the GodSlayer standing behind him.
Yeah. And then Bella's hammer just looks pretty wicked too.
Oh yeah, and like I said, she's always pulling hammers that are of different sizes and stuff like that. And so in this one, I wanted just a massive hammer that would match the GodSlayer's
what's her
sword.
ability? Like if you had to put a name to it,
I would call it's so I do have a name, Conjuration.
Okay.
She can conjure weapons.
Okay, yeah. It's pretty beastly. That hammer looks awesome.
Yeah. And then, I mean, even right there, Dust, you can see right on his face that guy's like, no problem.
Yeah.
And I call these monsters the Black Knights, but they're not really knights at all. And there's a whole storyline behind these guys, too, as you get going on. Oh, and there's Dust's necklace that I was talking about. You see that throughout. And then Jericho tier. This is our all fired up tier because he's none too happy about what's going on. Oh, and you can see that blue barrier in the background of this image. That's one of the effects Mario did in the animation that I love. And this is a $20 tier, and it comes with the PDF, and it comes with the Greg Bo Watson variant cover that's colored by, I'm going to say Gwen because I don't want to butcher her name. And that thing just looks amazing.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
And then we come down into our Bella tier. And this one's for people who are as passionate about the project as Bella is for Dust. And we've got our episode 1 PDF and the physical copy with the Courtney Rose cover. Also with colors by Gwen. And she chose to do the GodSlayer and Bella, and I just love her GodSlayer, how that thing turned out, dude. It's outstanding. Wicked. And then we come down into our Dust tier. And this image is actually Dust. In the first issue, he travels to the Thousand Hells, and this is him trying to hide who he is while he's down there. You know,
those pictures look like they're ripped just straight from an anime almost. It's wild. I love it.
Oh yeah, when I was doing this, I just went to the comic book and pulled out the images I loved, and that Dust in the cloak is just fantastic. And of course, I gotta have him casting his spell. That's his Inferno spell, which is one of his most used spells. And I mean, the artwork from the second page where he's launching that fire down. If you look at my Kickstarter, that's my image. When I stop cam on stuff, like that's my image. I loved the coloring in that so much. And so this is our Dust here, and it comes with the PDF, and it comes with Mario A. Barraza's variant cover. And so when I was doing these covers, I had Greg Bo Watson's and I had Courtney's, and the first cover design, I actually laid out and storyboarded that cover, and Mario drew it. And as we were going on, I was like, I want a cover that's like 100% Mario A. Barraza.
Yeah.
This is 100% you. And he gave me this 80s action movie style movie poster cover that I just adore.
Yeah.
Like the lighting you can see from the purple in the GodSlayer's chest, and then to the red spilling off of his Dust spell. And then you've got all of these guys all in motion and ready to fight. It's fantastic. And then of course the GodSlayer tier, which does what the GodSlayer couldn't do and conquers everything that came before it. And this has the PDF. It has the physical copy of the main cover. It's got the Greg Bo Watson cover. It's got the Courtney Rose cover. And then it's got the Mario A. Barraza cover, and comes with
so you get how many covers?
You get all 4 of the main covers.
To get those, it's like 20 a pop. Like you're getting, like, right there's your biggest bang. You're getting, that's awesome. Hell yeah.
Well, not only that, but then we throw in the blank sketch cover that people can take to cons and stuff and have their favorite artists either do their work on it or do fan art on it.
Oh, dude, that's so cool.
On it. And so it's 5 covers for the price of 4.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool, man.
And then we get down into our stretch goals, and we've got our Chibi's I Love Dust stickers, which were done by Sammy Kirkendall, who is an artist I ran into on Facebook and loved her art. And I was like, design me some Chibi stickers. And she was like,
Bella with the hard eyes. I love it.
Yeah.
Like on the hammer, like.
And so she did 2 different versions. And I asked for one, but she did 2 different versions. And in the end, I was like, I want to buy them both. Like, give me both of them. And so I wound up getting both of them to do as stickers for the Kickstarter. And then we get down into, and this is a unique thing. This is my author's gallery. And it says 116 pages, but it's probably going to be a little bit longer than that. And this is all my storyboards. Everything I sent to my artist along with descriptions. The only thing I replace in there is reference material we don't own. And I replaced that with the work Mario came up with. But this is literally my jump in head first and learn as you go journey through creating GodSlayers.
That's cool. Yeah.
And so this is all of my pages, and at the end I want to put in for indie artists or indie creators who are trying to jump on board and get into this, like it'll tackle my struggles with the Kickstarter, it'll tackle my struggles with learning to promote, and give people a heads up of what they're looking and getting into when they're creating a comic book themselves, That's cool, like a little roadmap. Yeah, I figured I've had so much help and mentorship that this, not only is it fun because it's my artwork, which is awful, but it's also fun because it's material you can use if you want to do this yourself. And then if we got $7,000, I want to do a t-shirt, and we have our sizes down here. And then this is another cover piece I did. And I designed a cover when I was reaching out to artists to do variant covers for me. And like Greg Bo Watson was just like, no, send me your references and I'll do a cover. And so that's how the Bella cover was born, with the fire behind it for the Jericho tier.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then Courtney Rose did the same thing. She was like, you don't have to send me any artwork or storyboarding, just send it to me and I'm going to do the stuff I love. And she loved the GodSlayer and she loved Bella, and that's the cover I got. And so I just had this art sitting there, and I'm like, Mario, like, let's do a rough of this. Let's ink it, and I want to offer it as a t-shirt. So
oh, that's cool.
that's our final stretch goal. And then of course the talent behind GodSlayers, which is me, Nathan John, Gage the Wolf. And this cat here is one of the images Mario did. So I have a novel I'm writing called Crazy Dreams.
Okay.
And this is cut off of the cover that my wife bought me for my birthday, done by Mario A. Barraza. Like I said, he's done a lot of work with me, and I've never been anything but ecstatic when I get to work.
That's awesome.
And then this is Mario. And Mario's been doing this stuff forever, since he was 12 years old when he made his first comic book, you know?
That's so crazy. It's, you know, and I haven't been able to draw my entire life. And this guy just drew when he was 12. Like, it blows my mind.
Talent comes at us differently, man.
Yeah.
But you were mentioning Mario Kart earlier, man. This guy spends a lot of his time as an avid Mario Kart player, so you might have to look him up.
Yeah. The new DLC drops today.
And then we've got Gwen. And again, I don't want to butcher her name, is the reason I've just been calling her Gwen. And she did the coloring for both of our variant covers, which, for both of our variant covers drawn by outside artists. And we've got the Greg Bo Watson cover, as you'll see with Greg Bo here below. And then the Courtney Rose cover, as you'll see right here with Courtney Rose.
Yeah, this is awesome. I love the artwork so much.
And this was our original logo, but it was a little dark, and the background got stuck to it. We couldn't separate the PNG from the background. And that's why Mario did the new glowing orange logo.
Which I think it makes it pop a lot more, though, to be honest with you. Now, if you had anyone who is watching your campaign but is on the fence about backing it, what would you say to them to kind of push them over that edge, to kind of get them to want to back your book?
To be honest, I'm not a great salesman. I guess what I would say is if nothing else, buy it for the art, man. Like, that's what I love. But I'm gonna keep going too. Like,
how many episodes do you have planned out?
So when I talked to Mario originally, I asked him about 10. But after doing my first book, I'm either gonna have to extend the number of pages, which I had to slow down because I ran out of funds, so we stopped at 24. I was looking at doing 32 to 36. But I've been saving up. I'm doing episode 2, whether the Kickstarter goes or not. And I'm going to hit Indiegogo after this. So, I mean, if you're looking for a long running story, I'm going at this. So you might as well jump in at the beginning.
Yeah. All right, dude. I'm excited for it. I forgot which cover I backed. I kind of want to get that Bella cover. That Bella cover is fire, literal fire.
Yeah, Greg Bo Watson's cover came out. I have to say though, I love everything I've got on there. Like, these artists, they pulled out all the stops for me, and like I said, I've been a supporter of indie comics even before I was producing my own, and of artwork beyond that. Like, I find Facebook artists that I buy artwork from all the time. Like, I have a folder of just stuff done from role-playing characters.
That's so
just
awesome,
for the heck
dude.
of it.
Yeah,
and so if nothing else, come out and support these amazing artists, you know?
I recently just started getting some artwork purchased as well, and trying to get some new stuff for my branding. And it is such a phenomenal feeling to have that image come to life, especially when it's something of this magnitude. Now, I've came to my favorite part of the podcast. And I always like asking this one question in particular to indie comic creators. And that is, if you had to give any advice to someone who's looking to start their own comic and they're kind of just struggling, what would you say to them to help them push through to kind of complete that project?
Well, I mean, if you're struggling, maybe you're not struggling. Maybe you're just moving at the right pace. Like, I hauled ass into this. Like, don't be afraid to take it a little slow. And definitely be good to the people you work with. Pay your artists, love their art, and don't just sell you, sell them too, because they're in this, they put their heart and soul into it just as much as you did. And be ready to promote it. And that's the craziest part. I'm a bit of an introvert. I'm a very private person, and getting out there and promoting has been a huge learning experience. You can't just throw it up there and hope people will find it. That probably works for some people, but be ready to promote it.
Yeah.
And always be gracious and humble. It helps more than you'd think. If nothing else, that's the thing that people have come back to me and been like, yeah, you can come on my show, because you didn't come at me with expectations. You didn't just throw a Kickstarter link at me and be like, let me on, It's and the indie comic culture is great. Like, these people they're out there selling their work and creating something amazing. And I've had nothing but an amazingly positive experience. So if you're out there, don't be afraid to touch base with other indie creators, because they're great.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. You definitely are humble. I woke up. It was 11:50. 11:50 my time, and I had a message like, "Hey, you got a link or a StreamYard link?" And I'm like groggy. I'm waking up. I'm like, "Wait, what?" And I'm like, "Oh no, there's an interview happening in 7 minutes." My significant other is my alarm clock, because I'm a heavy sleeper and she wasn't feeling good, so she slept on the couch, and it just kind of snoozed right through it. And we got into our call. We were chilling while I was setting it up, and we had such a good time. I can't decide if I had a better time before the interview or after the interview. Like, it's been such an awesome time the entire time. With that being said, though, that does wrap up today's interview. Once again, big shout out to Nathan Johns for coming on and breaking down GodSlayers episode 1 for us. I really appreciate it, man. I hope everyone in the chat had an awesome time, but most importantly, guys, keep it geekly.